Just a little bit bored here, so I thought I would return to the same spot where I recorded my first video talking about COVID-19 a year and a half ago. I didn't believe the whole thing would go on for so long, and it really bothered me that I opened my my Facebook feed and every other post was about COVID-19. Everything on there. I mean, stuff was going on, right? This is March that we're talking about. Obviously, basketball was big in March, and obviously, people's lives continued, right? It's not like COVID-19 was the only thing going on, right? People were having celebrations, they were having anniversaries, they were having to deal with other things, right? It just really upset me that every post was about COVID-19. Had it not been, had I known it would have gone on for a year and a half, I might not have been so upset to see so many people prepare for it. But I'm optimistic, and that's how I am. Actually, sometimes being too optimistic gets me in trouble. Part of the reason why I sometimes stay with a situation longer than it makes sense to, right? Sometimes I get involved in a relationship with a girl. Everybody's telling me to get out of it, and I get too optimistic. I think that things are going to turn around, and so I stick with it. Of course, they don't turn around; they get worse, right? But then I get even more optimistic that maybe the worst is over, and then I stick around. And it's not until weeks or months later that stuff goes wrong, right? I'm not taking good care of my health. I've blown through my life savings on the girl, that I realized that, oh my God, I have a problem, right? I had the same kind of problem with quarantine at the beginning. I kept thinking that things were going to turn around. I didn't take it seriously. I didn't panic shop. Actually, I did, but I panic shopped with silver because silver prices had crashed, and I bought a 1,000-ounce silver bar. But that was the extent of my panic shopping because I got overly optimistic. That's a big problem of mine that I need to cope with. I mean, it's nice to be happy, but at the same time, I throw caution to the wind sometimes because of that. And so I was telling people, if you look up in my videos, the video is titled, "Stop Talking About It. You know what I'm speaking of." And that's the sentiment I felt at the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis. I recorded that on March of 2020. I can't remember the exact date, but then reality set in. And during the whole pandemic, I keep getting optimistic. At the beginning, when we realized we really did have to lock down for 2 weeks, my first thought was that at the end of 2 weeks, the people who need to break up will have broken up, and we'll have a new landscape to mingle with people. That's the kind of optimism I was having at the beginning of the lockdown. When it became 6 months, I remember thinking that people who needed to change their career paths will have done so and will be a better fit, right? At the end of, well, now it's been a year and 2 months, I've been optimistic that people will keep their healthy habits long after COVID-19, right? We'll wash our hands more. We'll, at least keep some distance, right? I have food allergies, so social distancing is very nice for that reason. I don't think people are ever going to give me a dirty look when I social distance from them due to food allergy problems going forward, right? Or if I have to wear a mask, because of the food allergy particles, I don't think people will give me a dirty look anymore. I do like wearing a mask. Aside from the food allergy problems, there's another reason I love wearing a mask. I was just at a coin dealer, and I was haggling the price on one of the coins, and I couldn't haggle with a straight face. He didn't get to see that I was smirking when I was doing that. He didn't see that. And when I'm negotiating at a job, so I was recently negotiating at a tutoring center that I'm working at, and we were transitioning from remote work to in-person work right now. And I only wanted to take the in-person work if I could get a lot of hours, right? It really isn't worth it to go to the center for an hour, 2 hours, and now, that 1 hour student now takes like 2.5 hours when you factor in the commuting, you factor in the interruption of all the activities that are going on. It takes a lot more time than it needs to. And I really needed a big raise to justify that, especially to go from all remote work to some in-person work. Now I'm committed myself to Seattle, right? When I could be living somewhere else. And so I needed a big raise to justify all that. I couldn't say it with a straight face. Thank God I had my mask on, right? Anyway, I'm just overly optimistic, and sometimes it gets me in trouble, just like how it did 14 months ago when I recorded that video over here, right? All right. Well, enjoy the next 14 months of the pandemic before I come here again, I guess. Thanks for watching.